Hello and welcome to another long-awaited episode of Get Reddit with me. A lot has happened since the last time I've seen you. I dyed my hair blonde. We experienced a Arctic winter in New York City. And on the heels of that, we are finally about to enter spring and St. Patrick's Day. Today we're going to do a sort of St. Patrick's Day leprechaun look. And once again, I am always freestyling, so it's going to be trial and error. It might be a little bit goofy at times, but you just got to trust the process and hopefully it'll all work out. I'm going to believe in luck today. Let's get into some Am I the A-hole Reddit stories. A few weeks ago, my apartment mate asked if I wanted to co-host a potluck with him and another apartment mate. I had a grilled veggie recipe I'd been wanting to try, so I agreed. He would make the main, I would make the side. The day of, he posted how much the ingredients cost on our apartment group chat, which ended up a little over $200. I didn't post mine, which cost about $10. Fast forward to today, he expects me to reimburse him for my third of the expenses for the main. I said I never agreed to that. He said I was the host and that I had to. He never even considered it a discussion. Our third apartment mate paid and is staying out of it. All right, I'm gonna outline my lips real quick and then we can get into this. Okay, so whose decision was it to host this potluck? All right, so he says, my apartment mate asked if I wanted to co host a potluck with him. So he's the one who had the original idea to host this potluck. He decided he would be doing the main course and that you could do a side dish. No discussion was ever had about splitting expenses. I do think it's a little crazy that one thing cost $300 and the other thing cost $10. I guess if you're serving 10 people and you have a little side dish, I can kind of see how that could be $10. That makes sense. $300 though. Listen, it's not probably a really nice meal. It didn't seem like he probably had to go that hard. A potluck is all about like everyone bringing something, and so it shouldn't be like one person carrying the brunt of the expenses. However, if that's what you choose to do and you choose to make it, kind of on you, and you have to discuss ahead of time if you expect reimbursement for that. He never considered it a discussion is crazy. He said that I was the host. Like, this just sounds like he went a little overboard with his plan and then tried to backpedal. So let's see what the comments say. Not the asshole. Splitting expenses is something you agree to in advance and, if needed, have a budget set. Also, with me being a Brit, so I may have this wrong, isn't a potluck a gathering where everyone brings a dish instead of a planned meal? Yeah, that's kind of my issue with this whole thing. Is like, what were you doing? OP says yes, however, it's traditional for the host to make the main dish, which will usually be the most expensive to make. I mean, I guess that is true. However, like at that point, if it's a $30 per person meal, like that's not really in the spirit of a potluck. Someone else said in a barbecue, the host makes the main barbecue, guests bring sides, dessert, maybe something special to throw on the grill. Again, should not be $30 a head. At that point, go out to a restaurant. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't really make a lot of sense to do something like that and then to get mad that you don't know how to budget properly. So the verdict for that one is not the a-hole. Am I the a-hole for telling my girlfriend to suck it up around my clown figurines? Me, 26 male, and my girlfriend, 24 female, have been dating for 2 years. Since we started dating, she's known that I love clowns. I have several porcelain clowns displayed around my house, on walls, hung from the ceiling, on little swings, and on shelves. I adore these weird little creatures. Is anyone else just immediately thinking of the parents in Joe Dirt? No, but this seems really cute and pure, unlike those people. Well, last week I bought two Venetian masks from the thrift store and they're in great condition. I got them for a decent price too. She hates them. She said they're creepy and give her bad vibes, whatever that means. I told her that I would take down the masks when she's staying the night, but I'm not getting rid of them. She told me that was fine. Yesterday, she got up and told me that we needed to talk. She told me that she's sick of seeing my weird decorations and clown toys everywhere, that they're ugly and creep her out. I asked her where this was all coming from because she's never mentioned my clowns before. And she said to me, bringing those ugly fucking masks into our home was the last straw. And that my obsession with clowns was charming before, now it's just disturbing. I told her I would take down the masks when she was over, but one, this isn't our home, and two, she's known about the clowns for years, and to try to stop me from decorating my place as I please is controlling. She told me either get rid of some of them or we're done. I told her to just suck it up while she's here, and if she can't, then I'll just come to her place every week. She didn't like that answer and called me a child before leaving. I texted her to apologize for telling her to suck it up about the clowns, but she hasn't responded to me. So, am I the asshole for telling her to suck it up about my clown figurines? I love how many times he says the word clown. Truly iconic. Edit/update. I wanted to clear up some things I saw in the comments. I had a small collection started by my grandparents when I was a baby. That's where I got my first swing jester. That's so cute. The collection has grown in the last 2 years to expand to commons decor and not just dolls. I don't know if I like this, but I'm committing. For the update, she saw the post, she read the comments, and called me today. She wasn't too happy about being called the asshole, but she apologized for being controlling. Turns out she wanted to see if I get rid of my collection if it meant keeping her. Like it was some relationship test. No, she really did hate the Venetian masks and didn't like that they were hanging above my bed. I told her that if it came down between her needing me to get rid of them slash sell them for expenses, then I would of course do that. But I am not just going to get rid of my collection because someone says so. She asked if we can move on from this, and I told her no. I don't like that she tried to test my love by asking me to get rid of my collection. She left. We're officially broken up now. On the bright side, I can fill my house with more clown dolls. I even found a music box online that I might get. Thank you everyone for helping me figure out that I wasn't in the wrong. And to those saying I'm a serial killer for owning clowns, I've read quite a few comments from people collecting dead things, so I think I'm in the clear on that. Beautiful poetry. Wow, okay, so a lot to unpack with this story, namely that I agree with the general consensus that OP is not the asshole. I think maybe, when he's like, I don't know what she meant by them being creepy or whatever, I'm like, well, you have to know, especially if you love clowns, you have to have heard, that some people don't, right? Like that has to be something that you're aware of, presumably, if clowns are on your radar in any way. They freak people out, and that's fine. I personally love clowns, but I can also see why they're super creepy. Like I remember as a kid seeing the It cover with Tim Curry as Pennywise, and I was like, hell no. And I didn't actually watch it until after the new one came out, and everyone's like, oh, that's 10 times scarier, and I'm like, okay, maybe I can handle it. And it's great and it's so worth watching. But yeah, it was definitely like stranger danger. Clowns give the uncanny valley vibe, right? Which as a human being we're biologically wired to find scary. Sorry, that was a bit of a tangent. The way that OP's girlfriend is the asshole is by bringing it up in such a rude, like offensive way, like basically saying, this is fucking scary, you're a freak, like get rid of this or I'll break up with you. Of course he's gonna say no. And then this part here. I had a small collection started by my grandparents when I was a baby. Got my first swing jester. That's fucking adorable. Like, it sounds like this is something that's making him feel closer to his grandparents, closer to his childhood. Like, listen, people cope in a lot of ways with life. And I think there's this huge push right now to be like, oh, grow up and start a family. Why are you all into childish things? I say as I have a full freaking rainbow on my face, but like, why not? Who is it hurting? I get if it's something I have a phobia of. If I'm dating someone with a phobia, I'm not gonna just go have like, cute little images of that thing all over the place, but that needs to be communicated, especially if it's something that he's already had for years and she's not saying anything. Definitely like glad he broke up with her, not because it's like, oh, she did something so terrible, just like you're incompatible at that point. And she was pretending like something didn't bother her in order to kind of like win you over. And to me, that's like really creepy. That's the creepy thing. That's the uncanny valley here, pretending to be someone you're not. Boom. The top voted comment says, not the asshole. As someone who isn't into clowns but loves Venetian masks, I can understand being creeped out by some of them. I feel like the Venetian masks are even scarier, but like I get it. They're like more glamorous at the same time. However, her turning this on your entire interest for clowns that you've had your whole relationship makes her the asshole. Right. Also, if she's giving you ultimatums over how you decorate your own space based on your own interests, she's not the one. There will be someone who will appreciate your collection, if not add to it themselves. Absolutely. Get you a cute little clown bay. They're all over the internet. They're all over Twitter. I mean, I'm sorry. Twitter. And then OP comments, that's the crazy thing. She has bought me little clowns before. She found a print of two clowns kissing at an art fest she went to and picked it up for me. Someone says, hate to be this person, but is there any chance she might be looking for a reason to break up? Yeah, that's a good point. I wish people could just be adults and say how they feel, but you know what? Many such cases. Am I the asshole for refusing to change my bachelorette trip date and shutting down a friend's attempt to reschedule? I'm getting married this year, and my friends, a group of 16, and I have been planning the bachelorette trip. To make scheduling fair, I asked everyone to send me the dates they were not available so I could pick a date that worked for most people, especially since some friends are traveling from other countries. After going through everyone's responses, there was only one day that worked for everyone's schedules, so I announced it. That same day, one of my closest friends suddenly said she had been planning a trip around the same time. However, she had never mentioned it before, hadn't booked flights, and was only reconsidering her dates because someone told her her destination might be crowded. Since the condition of choosing my trip date was to prioritize the availability of the most people, I explained to her 3 separate times why that date was final. Despite that, she kept trying to change it. She even created another poll in our group chat to see if others could move their own important plans to accommodate her. Hell no. She also started privately messaging people, trying to convince them to say they could be flexible. At first, I didn't directly call her out in the chat, but after she made a second poll, I sent a general message stating that the date was already chosen and wasn't changing. Now she's upset and claims I embarrassed her by calling her out instead of speaking to her privately, even though I had already tried 3 times. I feel like she put me in a tough position, making me choose whose availability mattered more. I understand she really wants to be there, but I also think it's unfair for her to disregard everyone else's plans. I have no intention of changing the date, and honestly, I'm not planning to apologize because I don't think I did anything wrong. Am I the asshole? Um, this is crazy. It's interesting that this friend wants you to prioritize her like random trip, but she can't even prioritize like a once in a lifetime thing for you and telling everyone else, "Oh, can you tell her your plans aren't important?" What is less important than a vacation? And I say that as someone who loves to travel, but truly, what the hell? I would not only I would block this person. It sounds like harassment at this point. Clearly she would rather be wherever she wants to be than at the bachelorette trip and is only like trying to do all these gymnastics to fit it in so she doesn't look like an asshole, I'm guessing, but it's making her look crazy. I would just be like, this is what's important to you. I will see you later, but not for this trip. The top comment said, not the asshole, you did your best, and your friend is doing her darndest to steal the shine of your celebration. At this point, I would state plainly and publicly, Mary, example name, I have spoken with you multiple times in private, and this now makes twice publicly the date of my bachelorette is set and will not be changed. If you continue to press the issue so you can go on a vacation you haven't even bothered to book yet and only decided to make an issue of after I announced the bachelorette date, then you will quickly find yourself disinvited from the bachelorette and possibly the related celebration as well. Then your personal and ever changing schedule will no longer be an issue. Enough is enough. That's right. Like she's acting like it's so inconvenient for her to be invited to this. Well, then don't go. Bye. Another thing is the bride gave her an opportunity to say, these are the dates that don't work for me. Sounds like she's just really irresponsible and shitty. I don't like her. Someone commented under that and said, I would uninvite her altogether. She's going to be a bitter problem throughout the trip. That's what I'm saying. Someone else commented under that saying this is unnecessarily vindictive. The friend is making herself look like the asshole on her own without OP playing into the friend's narrative that OP is calling her out. I do agree with this. There's no further reason to publicly engage. However, it would be interesting to find out why this last minute trip matters so much to the friend. The friend seems to really want to go to OP's bachelorette, and if that's the case, what is it about the conflicting trip that she wants to go on that's so critical to her? Not that it changes anything, but it's curious OP has not even asked why. Or does OP know and is intentionally leaving these details out? She's putting so much effort into trying to find another date. Why would she be doing any of this otherwise? The assumption that the friend is acting in bad faith isn't warranted based on the information provided, in my opinion. I agree. I think it's a little bit on the friend to communicate that, not OP to like figure it out. However, yeah, I would be like, what's going on? OP responded, that's understandable. The trip matters to her because it's a summer trip and traveling is difficult for her husband because of work. By the way, her husband is also a friend of mine and is pretty upset that she's using him as an excuse to reschedule. Okay, this doesn't answer anything. Someone says, so this is entirely a FOMO thing for this friend. You already have the high ground here. Like I said, this friend is already doing more than enough to dunk on herself. Be firm but empathetic. They give them a little script. You're already not the asshole, just be the bigger person. So anyway, the verdict of that one is not the asshole clearly, but there are steps that I guess she can take if she wants to maintain this friendship. Anyway, this is my Leprechaun St. Patrick's look with a little rainbow eye. I actually had bought some rainbow eyeliners specifically for this look that have not arrived in the mail yet, sadly, and I wanted to get this video out to you in time, so I decided to use my beloved Luna Magic Goddess palette eyeshadows. Yeah, I think if I had to redo it, I would start with the purple and then go to the red maybe and kind of like brush it out, but I think it's cute. What do you think? Comment down below any other looks you'd like to see, maybe some non-holidays to shake it up, any type of Reddit stories that you want to see. I know we've been kind of focusing on the Am I the A-hole subreddit, but we can definitely move on to other ones in the near future. Thanks for watching, assholes, and I'll see you next time.